Hello and welcome to round one of the Saleucami Showdown filmed here at Entoyment. This video once again is brought to you by Out of Art Gaming. My name as always is Phil, and for this round I am joined by...
It's James. I've been on the channel a couple of times now, but I'm looking forward to watching this game.
Hello again James, yeah, absolutely brilliant to have you back on the channel. You always bring some really good insights. So as I said, this video is part of the Saleucami Showdown, which was the recent hyperspace tournament run at Entoyment, hosted by myself and the store. We've got 5 rounds to bring you, and we'll be bringing these out over the next few days. But this is round 1, and what we have is a Rebellion versus Republic list. Now, what we'll do, we'll go from left to right. So, James, do you want to go through your favoured Rebellion?
Sure, so we've got Kev's squad. We've got 2 B-Wings and 2 Y-Wings, which is fun. We've got Braylon Strom in the B-Wing, who loves stress. And then we've got Ten Num in the B-Wing, who loves stress. Followed by Nora Wexley in the Y-Wing, with some Colonnettes, a hull upgrade, and marksmanship. And then Horton Son, also in the Y-Wing, with proton bombs, hull upgrade, and marksmanship. And then it looks like on the other side, we've got someone familiar.
Indeed we do. I actually was placed on the first table, so this is actually my list that I use for the Hyperspace Tournament, a list I've been practicing for quite a while. You might be familiar with this list as it has been on the channel already. What I've got is Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Delta 7 with the calibrated laser targeting, R4 astromech and heightened perception. Warthog in the LA-80 with 5s and Ghost Company, and 3 Blue Squadron Protectors in those V19 Torrents, ready to cause some havoc and hopefully get some really good shots off against these rebels.
So you've got, obviously don't spoil it, you know the answer to what happened, but you've got an interesting opening. Your Torrents seem to be just flying away from the fight.
It's yeah, I think there's sort of 2 things here with my opening. So for those of you that aren't familiar, the LA-80 has a really cool ability called Fire Convergence. Now, while a friendly ship performs a non-turret attack, if the defender is in your turret arc, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, the attacker rerolls up to 2 attack dice. So what I'm doing here, to try and really make as much use of that as possible, I'm trying to keep those torrents with the LA-80. Also, it really helps to be able to try and converge that fire together. Excuse the pun on the ability there, but really helps to try and keep that fire together and concentrated. Also, it does confuse the hell out of your opponent when you suddenly turn away and stop on the first turn without bumping anything. A lot of people are a bit like, what's happening there? Are you just going to like force straight off the board and hand me the win? So
yeah, if I was on the other side of the table, I'd probably think, oh, he's set up wrong, I'll try and catch him off guard. But you seem to have thought all this through.
Yeah, so it's an opening I've tried a couple of times and have really tried to hone over the previous games before this tournament. It's when it gets to the second round of movement that suddenly it makes a bit more sense. So that first opening move, everyone sort of looks at it and goes, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you sure? So trying to keep them in a nice block, and normally you just sort of set 1 up behind and the other 3 in front, but the LA-80 is a medium-sized base, so you've got to be a bit creative in how you get them into the formation you want.
Yeah, it's either like half a step behind or in front, and it's tricky to keep in formation with ships of different sizes.
Yeah.
Whereas if you've got like a large base and a small base, you know that the small just needs to do an extra bit of speed to be in line.
Absolutely, and that is something that, well, again, the Republic don't actually have access to any large base ships at the moment, but it is something you really have to think about, that you've got, I need to actually at some point work out almost the step to where you need to try and keep it, but it's not easy to keep them in a good formation like that because of that extra half a movement that it's going to do. You either have to slow it down a bit, then speed up, slow it down, speed up. But yeah, it's an interesting opener that I was quite happy with how practiced. And as you'll see now, it will suddenly make a little bit more sense.
Okay, so you do the bank downwards and then you straighten it out. And then I'm curious to see what happens. Okay, so then you do the 2 and then presumably the 3, or do you do another 2 and just go behind?
So he does a 2 and goes behind. So they stick in
Okay.
a little L formation there.
And then we move over to Warthog.
Warthog.
Yep.
So they're all I3. So I can choose which order they go in, which is also quite nice.
Yes, that is very useful.
And with Warthog's ability, this is great against ships which have a higher initiative than me, because I won't, as long as I'm within 0 to 2 of Warthog, he can't initiative kill me.
So, do you want to just go over Warthog's ability?
Absolutely.
It's a new ship and it's a very good ability.
Yeah, when I saw the list of ships for the LA-80, it was the first one I saw and went, I like that. How can I utilize that? So, after you or a friendly non-limited ship at range 0 to 2 are destroyed during the engagement phase, that ship is not removed until the end of that phase. So this is the anti-ace pilot there.
Yeah, you can't get pilot skill killed.
Yeah, I mean...
Within that area.
Absolutely. You look at it and you've got, on the other side, Braylon 10 and Horton at I4, Nora at I5. Nora comes in and goes, oh, I've got one thing looking at me and I can take it out. Takes that turret out. And then I go, well, actually...
He's sticking about to shoot back.
Yeah, which is really good. And also, it works on Warthog as well, which is something that's easy to miss.
After you or... Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So, really, really strong ability there. Does contribute to it being quite an expensive ship. Warthog natively is 54 points, so he does take up, without his upgrades, over a third of my list. In fact, he's more expensive than Obi-Wan.
Is he?
Obi-Wan in this
variant with the additional upgrades. Not by much, though.
In fact, even as a basic...
Without any upgrades, he's 54.
Yeah, and Obi-Wan's 49.
But compared to the very cheapest gunship, which is 51 points for Initiative 2, for the sake of 3 points, that's a heck of an upgrade. Especially if you are going to fly torrents next to it.
Absolutely. It just really... It really made 100% sense to me. It was like, yeah, that's exactly
You've
what
really
I'm
given me a
do.
dilemma with this game that you're showing me, because on one hand, I want the Rebels to win.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you've got a really good synergy in your list. But on the other hand, it's you playing it and I don't want you to win.
Oh, so at the moment it's 1, 4 and 2 again, so you are still sticking with your Rebels then?
I will for now. We'll see how it goes.
No, that's fine. I get that. But I mean, it's nice to see Rebels on the board, like B-Wings and Y-Wings. When I was looking at this, I was going, wow, that's a lot of health to chew through, to be honest.
It is a lot.
And that's where my biggest concern... although the Blue Squadrons have 5 hull, they don't have any shields.
Yeah, so any crits will be a problem.
Yeah. And also, you got bombs. Those Y-Wings have got bombs.
Yeah, so the timing on the bombs is at the end of activation, so that gets around Warthog's ability, I think, doesn't it?
Yes, because it's during the engagement phase. So end of activation is when the bomb goes off. So that bomb would actually take them out if it happened, which is actually something you've made me just realise. And I'm trying to think way back to when this tournament happened. If a bomb took me out, but I'm not 100. To be honest, can't remember.
It's one of those things where it's a new card, new rules, new timings on things. stuff gets missed. Even in
Oh, yeah.
tournaments. You try your best not to, but it happens.
Absolutely. I mean, in this tournament, I completely forgot Obi-Wan had an ability of his own. Let alone, I was more focused on the ship's ability. So I completely forgot.
Obi-Wan can pass a focus around.
So after a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 spends a focus token, you may spend 1 force token. If you do, that ship gains 1 focus token. And it wasn't until round 4 of this tournament when someone said, "You are aware it can do this?" And I went, "Oh, that could have been helpful at points." And that works on himself as well, because it's at range 0 to 2, so you can do it on yourself. So, but it's just one of those things. So, like, although I don't have a lot of upgrade cards in there, sometimes you get so focused on what one ship is doing that it's easy to forget the others, as we've seen in other games.
Yeah, I quite like how simplistic Kev's rebel list is with all of.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, there are upgrades on there. You've got the bombs, but it's hull upgrades and a couple of marksmanships on the Y-wings.
Yeah, so it's very straight and to the point. Yes, the ships have their own specific ability, with Braylon and Ten having 2 different ways that they love and will abuse the stress that they can get.
Nor with the evades if someone's at range 1, and Horton sharing target locks. Or he can effectively coordinate a target lock when he does.
Yeah. So there are some cool abilities on there which would be interesting to see how they play out. But I know what you mean. Obviously, I've got, although I think Kev actually has more upgrade cards than I do, they're simpler upgrade cards. Mine are a bit more wordy, with 5s, Ghost Company, calibrated laser targeting. There's extra bits there.
Yeah. Also, I like that you've got Obi-Wan flying alongside his unit of clones with the yellow.
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
which number? Do you know which number that unit is? Because obviously Anakin's got the 501st. That's the memorable one.
Yeah, it's not the 212, is it?
I feel like it might be.
It could be the 212. Guys, if you're watching this and you know which company it was,
I feel like I should know this.
Pop a comment down below. And again, like last time where we didn't know that Fenn was painted as Wolverine, if you're the right one, we'll pin you, and that would be brilliant. But we have our first round of shooting, so we've got Obi-Wan on Brendan. That's hit crit.
Is that not in bullseye for the targeting, or is that the other upgrade?
No, that would be calibrated laser targeting. Maybe I didn't check it. So that was one miss, but there's still 2 shields off of Braylon there, so that was I'll take that as a good shot.
Yeah.
And we've got Nora shooting back.
There's a lot of green dice. I'm just going to assume that didn't hit.
Yeah, no damage there back. We've got Braylon back in arc. Two hits and a focus there.
Looks like he's checking his ability.
Yeah, but it's a strain, not a stress. So I have had to spend a force there to evade that. So Obi-Wan is still nice and healthy.
Is that the only shooting?
Just double check, yeah. 10 numbs out of range, okay. And Horton's looking at some debris.
Yeah, it's a weird position that the Rebels are in, because Braylon is going over that cloud again.
Yeah.
Not going to get an action.
No ability to stress himself either, unless he does a stressful maneuver, but none of his straight maneuvers are stressful.
And I can't help but feel like Horton, the blue labelled Y-wing, is going to do some sort of bank. It's kind of predictable.
It is
and
very
I feel
telegraphed.
Like you've got an opportunity to really capitalise on that.
Yes, and it'll be, again...
Or it's just going to end up being a really strong joust.
Yeah,
which Obi-Wan maybe at the side.
I mean, a joust definitely favours the Rebels with the shields.
With all of your guys hanging about, I mean, what's What's their gun? A two red or a three
a
red?
two red gun.
And there's still a lot. And the rebel ships on the board only have one evade die each.
Which is the one thing that's actually which does play a bit into my favour, I think. The low agility of the rebels.
Yeah, if you were up against X-Wings with their 2 agility, you're like, okay, that's alright,
Yeah.
you can handle that. If maybe there was some A-Wings dotted in there, you'd be in a bit more trouble.
Or even TIE fighters. I mean, they don't have shields, but again, they've got the 3 agility, and that's where it starts.
It's often enough to save them.
Yeah.
When you think, oh, it's 1 health, I'll fire at it, and then you just miss, and you think, oh bother,
Yeah.
still alive.
And I think that's
in the way.
Yeah, it's one of the downsides with the torrents. I think is that 2 red gun. I mean, they've got a fairly good dial. They've got a lot of health with the 5 hull. They've got 2 evades. It's that two gun that can limit them, which is why normally I like to put some form of munition on them. But I did do a couple of test games with munitions on them and found that the lack of actual ships on the board was a bit hampering for me. So I stripped some of the ships back. I mean, I had a lot of things on Warthog as well, but I really stripped it back to just those 2 upgrades.
And you fit in a 3rd torrent.
I fit in a 3rd torrent.
I feel like that's worth the trade-off. If you can get another ship in for the sake of munitions, probably go for it.
Yeah. Ooh. And
this is a brave-looking B-wing.
Who is also strained. So the first shot on him is with, well, depending on who, if it's obstructed, he gets 1 evade. If it's not obstructed, that's just straight through. So yeah, he's very brave.
Yeah. I mean, if it goes to the cloud, he can, turn 1 blank to an evade, which might help him a bit. But that's,
still not an ideal position to be in.
No, not really.
But you've got Horton just coming around.
Horton, was he in range for a target lock? Or...
He target locked Warthog.
Okay. But he wasn't able to do anything? Oh, was he too far away?
I'm just going to have a quick look, because I'm not very familiar with Horton. So Horton isn't that one.
Oh,
that's
I'm thinking of the wrong guy.
That's Dutch.
Oh,
Horton. While you perform an attack, you may reroll 1 attack die for each other friendly ship at range 0 to 1 of the defender.
Well, that's okay. That's not great for your Warthog, who is right next to 3 ships.
Yes, however, I don't think Warthog's in range 1 of any of them. Or is that range 1 of
range of the defender?
Of the defender. Oh.
Although,
yeah,
he's only got a 2 gun anyway.
And it's range, and it'll be range 3, so
for now, you're probably safe.
Yeah.
That B-wing is not looking good.
No, that B-wing is not looking good at all.
We've got Obi-Wan. Hopefully, you remember the targeting laser on this one.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I would remember.
Be range 1, but he's got no defense dice.
And you've got Nora coming in.
Some shields before.
Yeah, so Braylon is down 2 shields already.
Yes.
So I have a focus, I have 2 force, and I have what is more than likely a range 1.
Now Nora is close enough to Obi-Wan to get her free evade though, which is good.
Yeah.
I like that positioning on his part.
Yep, so it is a range 1.
Yeah,
you can't see it past my hand, but it is a range 1. And there's CRT activating.
Okay. That looks painful.
That's 4 damage straight in on Braylon, so that's 2 more shields and 2 hull.
So 3 hull remaining.
Yeah. Now here's where I forgot the Obi-Wan trigger, in that I could have used the Force to get that focus back, which would be quite helpful with the position where I've got
about
Nora.
To be attacked. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see if this hull upgrade on Braylon will help him pull through this round, but I'm not particularly hopeful.
No.
The Rebels and Rebellion was built on hope, so.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he's actually pulled that strain off yet, though, as well, so there might be a miss there. Oh, no. Yeah, he's about to pull the strain off.
There we go.
Thankfully. Although this is a tournament, it's still quite a nice, casual, friendly affair.
Yeah,
So
it's yeah. And you said it was the Saleucami?
Saleucami Showdown.
Where's that planet from?
So, that one, yes, that was featured in Clone Wars, and it was the Grievous Intrigue and the Deserter episodes. So where Grievous,
the clone that ran away. I like that one.
The clone, yeah, it was a really nice episode. It was one of those ones that added to that human element of the clones, not just being manufactured soldiers. I don't know. It'd be really interesting. He never came up
if
in
he
Rebels.
was wandering around in time of the Imperial.
Would his chip have gone off?
Yeah, would he see a Jedi and go, "Oh, I better kill that guy"?
Yeah, it'd be interesting.
Okay, so you're rolling defense.
Yeah, so
this is Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so that's one shield off Obi-Wan.
Okay,
He now has
it's
no
a little banged
force.
up. It's still good. It's still good.
It's all good. It's all good.
This is Horton, by the looks of it.
Yeah, so it looks like we're looking at Horton going at Warthog, so he doesn't have range of the torrents. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, Saleucami was one of the episodes from Clone Wars, and I'm glad about that because at first I had no idea how to pronounce Saleucami.
Oh, because it was on a TV show and not just written down somewhere. You knew how to say it.
In fact, it happened. I happened to be going back through and watching the Clone Wars, had a bit of a break, and then went, I wonder if I could find that. And it was the very first episode that I happened to be on next.
Oh.
I was like, perfect. So we've got Braylon. He's got 2 shots at Warthog. Both shields gone on Warthog.
Okay. Well, it's still got 8 hull, which is
still 8 hull.
A sizable amount of health.
Yeah.
For a fairly cheap-ish ship, it's a lot of health.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same amount of health as the Outrider. It's just a different variant.
2 very different ships.
Yeah, so 1 hit, 1 more damage on Braylon. I mean, same amount of damage as a B-Wing natively as well. Oh no, more than the B-Wing, sorry. It's 10 versus 8. 2 crits to Braylon there.
Doesn't avoid it.
Oh no, that was not at Braylon,
No?
that was at Horton.
Oh,
that would be Ghost Company triggering there.
Oh,
So whilst Warthog is focused with Ghost Company, it allows him to take another shot at another enemy in his arc.
But it has to be a different enemy.
It has to be a different enemy. So he shot at Braylon, took off a hull there, and then took 2 shields off of Horton.
Wow.
We've done 1 more hull off of Braylon, so we're now going range 2 from Blue.
But Braylon is hanging in there with his hull upgrade.
Yeah, and that was classed as non-obstructed, so hit crit.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
I said he was hanging in there. He's not anymore.
Yeah, that's Braylon gone. So it's a very good first proper round of shooting there.
Unfortunately, I think he may have overcooked it on his initial approach and going through that cloud twice, ending up right next to Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And in front of just everything.
Oh,
not great. Although
that's 2 hits on Nora, and that's Nora shields down.
Did he not add an evade for Obi-Wan being next to him?
No, it would appear he missed that.
Oh, that's a shame.
That's a shame because that would have been 1 shield down instead of 2.
That's what makes Nora so good. You get stuck in there.
Yeah.
Get your evade on all the attacks, drop a bomb, and get out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's a scary Y-Wing. And she also has that ability on the arc as well, which again is scary.
Yeah, I've not really used her in the arc that much. I tend to just go, I'll just put her in a Y-Wing. That's what she was known for.
She's very expensive in the arc, though. That's why. So I think the arc basic is more expensive than Nora's setup here.
Even with the bombs and the upgrades?
I believe so. Let me just have a quick...
Well, yeah, all of these upgrades are 50 points on her. So
yeah. So she's not hugely expensive. Let's just have a quick look. Let's go for a list that isn't hyperspace, because Nora's not hyperspace in the arc. Yeah, 55 points in the arc.
Oh, okay. So yeah, immediately without any upgrades, 5 points more than all this.
Yeah, and for that you get an additional.
You do get the rear arc.
You get a rear arc and an additional shield.
And a medium base ship, which,
medium base ship,
depending on your list, might help.
And I'm not gonna lie, the Arc 170 does look really cool.
I'm kind of annoyed they brought out the newer one, because in version 1 I painted mine to look new. And now they've released one and gone, look, it looks new. And I'm looking at my one now and going, well, now it just looks like a Republic one.
Yeah, well, I've got one for my Rebels and my Republic. And they're both very different paint schemes. I've followed the yellow theme for the Republic one. Mainly picked that because, well, the M1 Starfight is yellow, and I like to have a theme, so I went with all of them being yellow, and it worked out really nice. My Rebellion one, I've actually gone for a blue with black tiger stripes variant.
Oh, cool. Is that there's one that's got like a face on the front of it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen ones where they put like that shark style face.
Yeah.
There's the LA-80 from the Clone Wars animated series.
Oh, the old cartoon one.
Which has the animated sort of like the shark look on it.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people do that repaint. Or another one I've seen quite common as well is the Ahsoka Tano paint job variant.
On a
LA-80.
I'm not sure what that looks like.
I don't know whether that's from the actual TV show.
I do want to see someone do the Close Bros like pin-up sort of thing on the side of it.
I think because I'm pretty sure I've seen so many different ones, but yeah.
They were so friendly with Tim. It's so frustrating that he got shot down.
But that's what Order 66 did, though.
But that one,
yeah.
Poor Plo. This is looking very messy. This next round of shooting, something's gonna die.
Yeah, and it looks like I was almost like Warthog was able to capitalize and use some force sense there, because he's turned his arc and everything is towards that left-hand side. So now he's focused, he will get the opportunity. Oh, and that's a 5k from Obi-Wan.
There's a sneaky hit behind.
How did that fit? That was nice.
He didn't even know he was going to be there.
Absolutely. It's almost like he used his heightened perception to know exactly where to go. And that's a dangerous spot for Nora to be right now.
Yeah, you only get the benefit of one evade. You don't get all of them.
Yeah. And it really, right now, looking at that, even having been the one playing that, I'm looking at that going, do I go? I've got such a good shot on Nora, but I also have I've got definitely 2 good shots on Horton, and I'm looking at it going, would I have gone with the torrents on Nora or just try and focus fire the hell out of Horton? But Obi-Wan has taken that range 1 on. So 1 hit there is a bit of a rubbish roll. And there was an evade there.
Yeah, you've also got the good positioning from Warthog for his ability, because as you said earlier, if Nora did decide, I'm just going to blast this one out of the sky, and they all focused on the one, say, right in front of her, and they did all 5 damage, it's still going to shoot back.
Yeah, the target lock from Nora, hit crit, and there's a hit crit on green. Oh, and it's a direct hit, so that is half points straight away onto green there on the cloud. Does mean he gets to remove that strain though.
Yes.
And Horton looks like he's going to be shooting into green as well.
I mean, at this point, you've just got to focus fire.
Yeah. I mean, he does have...
It's a numbers game. You got to make up the numbers.
Yeah, even at that range, he does have 3 evade dice.
Oh, is it through the cloud?
through the cloud.
It's a good shot though.
Yeah.
So a hit, a crit, and a focus.
Hit, crit, and a reroll. Two hits and a crit.
Nice. Cloud for the blank.
Yeah.
And spin the focus.
No. I took
Oh
it.
yeah, there's no point because you're dead anyway. I think, aren't you?
No, hull breach. He's got one hull left. One hull left.
As someone who would prefer to play as the rebels, you getting a hull breach as your last crit before death is just an insult.
Hull breach and fuel leak as your last ones they're just rude. I mean, why?
I will say fuel leak is a fun one though, because you can go, I'm on 1 health, and then you end up with like 7 extra cards.
Oh yeah. So that's 2 hits there from. Oh,
one of them.
That's 2 hits from 10. He's dead, but Warthog is going to say, it's okay. Twitch those guns and get some shots.
And there's no limit to the amount of times that can trigger in a round.
No,
it's not like
no
you can
limit.
go, oh, I'm going to keep this guy alive. It's just, that's all of them. They're all hanging about.
If I was to have a really unfortunate time and all 3 of them were to go, they would all 3 sit there until.
I get the feeling we're going to see a lot more of Warthog in Republic lists that have generics at least.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it doesn't work on Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That would be crazy.
Yeah. So, hit crit. Kev's now remembering Nora's ability.
Good.
So, that's one crit on Nora. And it's a damage sensor array.
So, damage sensor array, you cannot perform any actions except the focus action and actions from damage cards. To be honest, for a Y-Wing,
It's not too bad.
Not awful. Although, would you still be able to drop your Colonets?
Yeah, because it's not an action.
Oh, yes, it's yeah.
So that's 2 hits and a crit. Oh, 2 crits there, sorry, on Nora. Hull breach.
Oh, is there a hull breach as well now?
Yeah.
Oh, with the extra health. See, the rebels get the hull breach, and there's still more health to go. You get it, and you're on death's door anyway.
Yeah. And the final one was direct hit, which went straight into a fuel leak.
What? Oh, as I was saying just earlier, it's like a fuel leak, and you can get 7 other cards.
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
So she's got 3 health left,
painful.
and she's still got a shot into her. So we go range 1 with blue.
Not the best shot.
No, but fire conversions.
Better shot.
Hit, crit.
I mean, you might be able to avoid it.
Yeah, so it's 2 crits. So that's Nora down. Lots and lots and lots and lots of cards.
Yeah, I don't think we're
there.
going to read off all of those crits.
No,
There's a lot.
To be honest, they haven't even popped up on the overlay. There was that many there. Let's just say a trail mix of crits there.
Now, do you tend to, even in those situations, do you pull out all of the cards, or do you just go, okay, at this point I'm dead, I'll just stop drawing cards in the damage deck?
I'll still draw them out because they may have an effect later in the game.
Well, yeah, because potentially you're removing more
It's
direct
direct.
hits
Yeah,
and fuel leaks. So I always feel like it's worth doing, and sometimes I just forget to do it.
I always do it because I don't even know if it's in the rules, but it's if it's not in the rules, it's one of those unwritten rules that I've always followed. If just because my ship has 5 health, if it turns out that he's taken 7 damage in the end, I'm still going to pull all 7 damage cards out.
Yeah.
And even if they're crits, and I have to pull a crit, I'll still pull it. If it's a direct hit, I'm still pulling another card for it. I'll do it until I've got the correct number of damage cards assigned to that ship, even if it's very dead. It's also funny because
just drawing all these cards.
Yeah. I mean, as you said about like drawing 7 cards off the back of a fuel leak or something, I actually had that happen in a game. I managed to get a hull breach, and then there were so many direct hits and fuel leaks coming out that this X-Wing, I think, ended up with, he had seven cards off 4 hits because of a hull breach.
Yeah, it's like hull breach into a fuel leak, into a direct hit, into another fuel leak. It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely mental. And I did kind of feel bad about that because that X-Wing hadn't actually had a chance to shoot all game. And the first time he got into position to possibly have a shot,
He blew up.
Well, I Major Von Regged and blackouted him. So, yeah, it wasn't the best place for him to be at that time. So, but yeah, we got to see a really good use of Warthog's ability there, keeping that torrent alive to get that extra shot, which really helped. And now we don't have a Nora anymore.
No, the rebels are down 2 ships. The others are fairly. I mean, 10's not been touched. Horton's lost some shields, but is still about. He is dropping his proton bomb, or one of them at least. I'm guessing to try and get Warthog.
It's very likely that. Well, Warthog would always be there because
saw it and did a bump, which you have. But is that far enough? We'll have to wait and find out. Obviously, you know. Don't tell me. Don't tell the audience. We're gonna have to wait.
Yeah. I mean, looking at it, I don't think it would be enough to help.
Either way, I think he did the safe play of he's probably going to drop the bomb now.
Yeah,
I'll effectively break.
I mean, in that position, I would have been very surprised if he didn't drop the bomb. To be honest, that's a position where if it was me,
bombs.
I'd be looking at going back. That's a good bombing position. So strain there for the blue squadron.
I've just realised that your yellow guy's got the base on backwards. Not that it really matters because it's symmetrical, but oh well.
Yeah, it's all right. I think it was probably in a couple of minutes where we also realised that.
Oh really? Okay.
It's just one of those things. Obviously, big tournament day. There are things.
Yeah, you were setting up the camera and stuff.
I mean, the tournament started around 9:30 in the morning
as well.
Yeah.
Oh no, he didn't clear the stress though, which is actually good for 10.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I got there at tournament started at 9:30. I was there at 8:30 to start getting stuff set up.
And you couldn't even set up your ships correctly.
I couldn't even set up.
What a shame.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. Scrap it. No more videos. I'm giving up this game. Yeah, I'm back. I'm okay. I'm over it now. These things happen. I mean, as long as I don't try and shoot out the back and think that my turret is suddenly turned into an arc, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not having a massive impact.
So
it looks like what's going on? Are we looking
just
for a measuring tool or?
No, just double checking those rules for the bombs because annoyingly
whether or not it's a mine that if you go over it detonates sort of thing.
No,
or?
what damage it actually does.
Oh.
Because I think now bombs are becoming more popular, but they're still not common.
More.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't help that I mostly now fly resistance. They've only got one bomber and it's massive and slow, and I don't particularly like it.
Yeah. So we have some crits coming out. So blind the pilot on Blue Squadron. Obi-Wan gets a hull breach, and Warthog gets a direct hit.
Ooh, okay.
So that was quite a good bomb there from Kev. He's got some good damage in there.
I'm surprised that the Blue Squadron Protector was in range for that.
Yeah. So we've got a range 1 from Obi-Wan.
With the bullseye ability as well.
So he's spending the stress to only take 1 shield there.
That's fair, because he's bumped into one of them. The other one's stressed and Warthog's a bit further away. So it's, it seems like a good time to spend it.
I mean, would you have saved it for the attack?
When you're already this many ships at a disadvantage, I think keeping your ships alive is probably more beneficial. Particularly if you just bombed.
Although, if you've just rolled like that, So that's 2 hits and 2 focuses. He probably wishes he still had that stress.
You know what? It happens.
Yeah. So there's 1 more damage onto blue.
And this is looking like Horton shooting.
Horton is shooting at...
Checking if it goes around the cloud. Does it?
It does. It's clear, so...
Okay. But again, even if he does take out blue, he's still hanging around to shoot.
Yeah.
He's blown up, he's blinded, but he still might be there. Oh, he's definitely still there.
He's a little bit... He's rolling some good blanks there, unfortunately.
Where's heroic when you need it?
Yeah, I do feel bad. I think Kev's dice in this weren't particularly good. And
on your defense, if you're only rolling 1 green die, the odds are not in your favor.
No. And there we go. As you said, the base is now the right way round.
Oh, good, I can relax.
So, got some shooting back now on 10. So, range 1 from blue.
Pretty good. And
So,
then
spending fire convergence to reroll, 2 hits. And that's 2 more shields down on 10 up.
okay, still not quite half points.
Not quite. And it'll be Warthog going next. Range
Around
2.
the cloud, from the front probably.
Yeah. 2 more hits.
It's a good shot.
And that is the final shield and the damage.
So half points.
So half points there on 10 num. So very painful.
I mean, you must be feeling pretty confident at this point. Obviously, mid-game, you don't know exactly what the points are, but looking at it at the top of the screen now,
Yeah, I mean,
looking at the board, you must have known, like, oh, I'm in a pretty good spot here.
I mean, I think that anyone that's playing will be familiar with what their points are going to be. So I'll know that at the moment,
I've lost
1 ship and I'm half on Obi-Wan. So I know that is going to be less than...
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as Braylon, which obviously at the time I don't know, but having flown Rebels, I'm fairly familiar with their points. So I'm there.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a 4-ship Rebel list and you kind of go, well, they're probably all about
50 points
each. Yeah.
So I look at it and go, well, I've got definitely at least 100 points there with Braylon and Nora being down. I've got half points on 10. I know that I've got the lead right now. So... But it can swing so quickly and so easily, so you can never take for granted that you've got that. I mean, I've seen games where, well, in fact, I've had a game myself in the practice for this where it wasn't until we actually totted up the points that we realised how close that game was. It looked like it was all completely in my opponent's favour, and then when we totted the points up, we're like, oh wow, it was actually...
much closer than you thought.
I think it was about 8 points in it, and in the end, he did get the victory over me. But it was that close that I think it would have been half points on Jan Ors, and I would have had it.
Okay, so now, what's your positioning here? You've got Talon rolling for okay.
Yeah.
Good old Talon rolls.
I love a good Talon roll, and especially a 2 Talon roll. I've used that a few times. Obviously, what I'm doing there, rather than move 10 them over, I'm doing the side to side, and then I'll reposition. I've used that 2 Talon roll to good effect to surprise quite a few people. I played a triple Nantex list the other day using this list, and they got into the position behind me, and I just did the 2 Talon roll, and suddenly it was like, oh, I was not expecting that. And it just
sometimes
really well.
You need to be just unpredictable.
Yeah.
Unlike these rebels that are just going to chug one forward with the Y-wing, probably target lock.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that Tendum's going to be able to get into a position to get an action. I think that 1 forward might, if he tries to 1 forward, I think that might bump.
But would you then just do a red maneuver with him anyway, just to get a stress?
what red maneuvers does he have that he can do to still have a shot and be strong? Well, he's got his he could put in a 2K turn and deliberately bump, or he's got his talon roll, isn't he?
Yeah. So the B wings have for reds 4 straight, 3 banks, 2 K turn, and then the 1 sharps and the 1 talon rolls.
So I would potentially, he's done the 2K. He's faked the 2K.
Bumped into Obi-Wan for the stress for a shot on Warthog.
Yeah, and I mean at that point, I guess that he anticipated that it was not going to clear. Even if it had have cleared, he would have had a shot on the turrets. But I anticipated it not clearing. And we've got Obi-Wan just getting out of dodge, doing a 1 hard there, which with the R4 astromech is a blue maneuver.
Yes.
I tell you, I love R4 astromech. It's quite a cheap one, but it's just so effective.
Yeah, especially on a ship like Obi-Wan, who really would like more blues.
Yeah. I mean, there was a debate about using one of the other R4 astromechs. I think it was R4 P17, if I remember off the top of my head.
I'm not too familiar with all of the Republic droids.
Yeah. Okay, so R4 P17. After you fully execute a red maneuver, you may spend 1 charge to perform an action, even while stressed.
Okay, so a bit like Passive Analyzer tech upgrade. Okay.
Yeah. Or there was the R4P. Before you execute a basic maneuver, you may spend 1 charge. If you do, while you execute that maneuver, reduce its difficulty.
But how many charges is it?
2 charges. So only 2. So that's why I went with R4.
Yeah, it's cheaper and you can use it a bit more consistently. That is a decent shot. That's Braylon into...
So that's Braylon into Tendum into Warthog.
Sorry.
Tendum. So Tendum into Warthog. Rerolling, so that's changed to hit crit for marksmanship.
Does he want to go all out? No, he doesn't spend... He keeps his stress for defense.
Hit crit structural damage. So that is
1 fewer defense die.
On a 1 defense die ship. That's essentially a permanently strained LA-80.
Yeah, and now Coulson's going to take a range 1 shot.
Yeah, it is half points on him as well now. Ooh. Hit crit so far.
Does he have? He's got a target lock, I think. It looks like he's thinking about it.
Yeah.
I feel like in that situation you go for it, because if you can kill Warthog, the other torrents lose their support at the end of the round, admittedly. But
oh no, so that was from Tendum. Sorry, he's actually.
Oh, they shot the other way around.
Yeah, so that was hit.
Right. Okay.
Crit. And the final crit is a fuel leak.
Oh, you got really.
Of course it is. I got those really annoying crits at the right time.
Looking back on it, I'm surprised you didn't even end up with blinded pilot on Obi-Wan instead of your blue squadron.
Yeah. 2 hits.
So who's this?
So this is
Warthog. Yeah, Warthog, I think.
No, it's not Warthog.
No? Oh, it's one of the...
It's from yellow.
Okay.
And that's Tendum dead. That was a focus against 3 hits. So that was fire convergence, allowing me to re-roll that final die. Blue squadron now.
It's through a cloud.
Blue through
Horton
a cloud
at
Horton.
Horton does also still have 1 bomb.
Yep. So 1 crit. Oh, Natty's there, so that's actually pretty
the
good.
Dice have woken up.
Yeah. Range 1 from Warthog.
Yep.
Target lock wasn't spent. So nothing has changed. It's a bit of a shame there.
So you missed an attack. Does that triggers
5s?
How does 5s work?
So the way 5s works is if you do an attack that misses it has to be against an enemy which has the same or higher initiative to you. So after you perform an attack that missed, if the defender's initiative is equal to or greater than your initiative, place one evade or focus token on this card. Before you engage, you may remove one token from this card to gain one matching token.
Okay.
So it's
that's cool.
It's very cool.
I like that you get the choice of evade or focus.
Yeah, and I tend to do focus because I try and almost perceptive co-pilot with him. So I will always try and take a focus action with Warthog if I have the option of having two ships in.
Yeah,
his
particularly
arc.
with Ghost Company as an upgrade as well, because you need to be focused to trigger that. So that makes sense.
So then what I would do is I'd have that focus. Ideally, if I've still got that, I will then drag that focus from 5, giving me 2, so that I can then spend one focus on the first attack, be focused for the second attack, and then hopefully, if I need it, I've got it there. It's very similar to Bistat.
Yes.
But
it looks like you opted to fix the blue squadron protector's blinded pilot.
Yeah.
And where is Horton going?
Yeah. And also, I think I did a stop there. Yeah, looks like I did a stop, which is extremely good for me. It causes that block.
Yeah, and now Obi-Wan...
And no bomb either, no bomb drop, which I think, Obi-Wan's
so manoeuvrable, and he was the only one who may have got hit by it. Yeah. And I don't think that was the time to drop a bomb. I think maybe this following turn, if he's still around, maybe catch the torrents.
I mean, I'd be very surprised if he's around. So it looks like with Obi-Wan, I'm just rebuilding that force, knowing that I've got those 2 guns from the torrents there. So we've got a range 1 from Horton onto blue, 3 hits, 2 hits there.
Pretty good.
2 hits, and nothing to change it because I fixed the blinded pilot.
Yep.
And 1 health
still
left.
Alive.
Yep. So it's steadily giving Kev some more points there. He's dragging those points out.
Steadily, but possibly not quick enough. Horton needs to
hit
roll
crit.
Well. Doesn't.
Nope. That's hit crit on Horton. So what do we have?
What have we got?
Structural damage.
Oh.
Which
it's the same card that you got. It's totally fair.
Yeah. So fire convergence, 2 hits.
So he's down to 1 health?
1 health left.
Now that, although Braylon's maybe was wasted, Horton's hull upgrade
definitely
kept him alive.
Yeah.
And sometimes, it's a list that doesn't really need a bid because they're not the most maneuverable of things. So why not just put some extra health on?
Absolutely. I mean, there is that debate of whether the bid, like using those points for a bid, is good, or does it mean that you're restricting yourself? I mean, I've seen lists, I think the craziest bid I've ever seen is about 14, 15 points. And I'm thinking, that's 2 good upgrades there. I mean, that's 3 advanced proton torpedoes, potentially.
So could you not find anything for that?
Yeah. But I mean, I have seen a debate actually going on a couple of Facebook pages and on Reddit about maybe trying to see if that can be changed, and rather than doing the bid, doing a roll-off for initiative, similar to how other modern wargamings do.
Well, I mean, even in Legion, there is a bid. I'm not sure about other war games, but
yeah. But I mean, although I think that whole bid, it's very much ingrained part of this game, and I think if they were to change, I don't think they'd ever change it for this
no, I don't think
version.
they would, because it is kind of part of the Aces build at this point that you take some kind of bid, and that's in its own way is an upgrade for Aces lists.
Yeah.
Here's the question: who's going to get hit by this bomb? Because if Horton gets hit by the bomb, then that's just a disaster.
Yeah.
If he can catch the blue squadron protector, then that's great.
Yeah. But Warthog is definitely out. He's just got a strain from that gas cloud. Woohoo! He's at -1 initiative.
Now he can't turn his turret, which will mean
Fire convergence isn't in effect, and also he would not have, depending on where Horton goes, but I don't, from that angle, there's nowhere Horton can go that I would have a shot with Warthog. So, and I think at the moment this is just a bit of a disengage.
Now, if that bumps Horton, that may get hit by his own bomb.
Yeah.
So,
no. Oh no, he's doing it too hard. So I
think he's probably out of range.
Yeah,
his bomb there.
But yeah, he's out of range for his bomb. Bump, no shot. Obi-Wan.
So there's going to be another round potentially if Obi-Wan is going straight.
And Obi-Wan bumps. So one of those things. I was too focused on what the torrents were doing.
Yeah, you kind of go, I'm going to plan for my low initiative guys, they're going to do this, and then you kind of go, okay, now high initiative guy, he's just going to go straight. And you just forget that they are both there.
Yeah, I've done it so many times. It's so easy to do, but in the end, it actually worked out pretty good. Didn't get bombed.
It also slowed down Obi-Wan enough to be in a spot where he can just turn to the side and follow the White Wing.
Oh yeah, now, like, he would have been a bit too far over. Like I think a one hard from where he would have been would put him in front of the gas cloud, but it would have meant to try and keep some guns up. I'd have had to barrel roll and boost. Now I'm in a position where I can just potentially only have to do the boost to keep up with Horton, because
and all you need to do at this point is get him in bullseye and he's dead, because you add the focus, you've got the force to guarantee changing the focus, and he's got no evade dice.
Yeah. And at the moment he's got weapons failure as well.
Oh yeah, weapons failure as well.
Yeah, so he's not happy.
He's having a rough day. His friends are all dead.
Yeah.
And it's all because of these guys who came out with some sort of time warp.
Yeah. But again, utilising that 2 Talon roll to good effect to get that arc twisted. That's such a good move. I think
Talon rolls are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, people would say like the 1 Talon roll is really good, the 3 Talon rolls really. I think the 2 Talon roll is probably just the right one.
It's a good medium speed.
It's a quick.
Sometimes that's all you need.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround, which actually gives you a little bit of flexibility in the fact that
the problem I have with like the 1 Talon roll is often when you do a Talon roll, you want to get over there and turn around, because otherwise you feel like you have to go behind the enemy and then spend a turn waiting to then turn around.
Yeah. There we go. So 1 hard, spend the force, boost, focus, range 2, 2 shots with a focus added for calibrated laser targeting, guaranteeing at least 1 hit there. Also, if I wanted, I could re-roll because fire convergence from Warthog.
No, because the arc's not facing the right way.
No, the arc is in the right way. So that's hit, crit, crit, so it doesn't matter. The arc has to be pointing the defender.
Yes, sorry, I thought it was the attacker.
Yeah, normally it would be.
It's a new ship.
Yeah, normally it's the attacker, and in fact, in one game I did think it was the attacker, but when I read it, so that is Horton down. Kev just wanted to see what would have happened if.
Oh, the old what would have happened.
Yeah, so if Horton hadn't have gone down, Horton would have taken out Warthog. However,
Warthog
in this case,
out to shoot back.
Yeah, unfortunately, Horton felt the wrath of Obi-Wan Kenobi, but you know what?
For a tournament game, he's still got effectively half of your list.
Good
99
MOV
points,
there.
decent MOV for future rounds, which will be up on the channel
Very soon. Very soon. Hoping to get those up over the next week and a half. You should have all 5 rounds coming up. And speaking of the channel, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Any comments down below of anything you would like to see us have a go at. If you do know which company my ships are painted in, leave that down in there. And if you are right, we'll pin you. I just want to say again, thank you very much for joining us, James.
You're welcome.
And hopefully we'll have you again soon. But as I said, in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, guys. Please do like and subscribe. Click that notification bell to know when the next video is up. And thank you very much for watching.